I think there's sometimes a fear factor that, for example, students bringing in, there are many factors here at play. I think we're worried, as Stefan mentioned, about the fact that they're not listening to what we're supposed to be lecturing them on, number one. But the reality is that it's a tide out there, outside the walls of our institution, that they're used to. They're in this habit of coming in and having these many distractions, doing many things at the one time. Maybe not well, but the reality is that if any of us go to a conference or to a meeting, we're sitting there with our phones checking emails. We might not be letting people know, but we are. People are multitasking, so it's a wave, it's a tide, and we should decide how best to deal with it rather than resist. Because it's there, it's a fact, it's a reality of their lives.
Yeah.
So we either go with it and integrate it as best we can, and the answers for that are for us as educators to find by consulting with you to see what's best to do.
So we'll come back to that in a second, and I'll come to Emmett one for a moment. But are we saying then that we just allow people to become very unstructured, doing bits and pieces of several things at the same time, and not doing anything well or properly?
Well, isn't that
and as you said earlier, concentration. I mean, science requires concentration.
Yeah, well, like part of the whole college thing is learning how to actually learn yourself. It's not as structured as second level anyway. But also, even look at sort of the room here today. You know, it's like a whole lot of you are bored, and that's fine. But the difference is, 15 years ago, if you were bored, it'd be really noisy in here. You'd be all whispering to each other. Thankfully, you're texting and tweeting each other, so it's great. Like, you know, I see at least one really hungover guy there with slick hair over there. That's grand, like, you know, because he's not actually bothering anyone. He's just tweeting under the desk. But like, that's the difference between now and 15 years ago. It's actually easier for students who are paying attention. But again, like, going back to the original point I was making there, though, is the college learning environment. Like, part of it is a case of you've got to build your own structure. It's about it not being handed to you. So if you might go, well, it's disruptive, it's getting in the way. This case of it's like you're working out how you're getting along, because like the real world's kind of messy anyway. So if you're not sorting out yourself, it's not going to get handed to you. Trust me.